Well, they're just admitting it out loud now. Finally, in the newspapers where Hollywood lives, they're declaring that yes, it's all been about politics all the time. And today in this video, we're going to show you how that is coming to an end because audiences, well, they won't give a win to any studio that chooses to do that anymore. Celebrities lost the culture war and they're declaring it completely, finally, now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we, as ever, endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, and we do so every single day with a joy, with a vigor, and we just never, ever, ever stop. Folks, we ask that you click that like button, and today we're going to give you a very wonderful free lesson in just how to destroy the golden goose, and that is what has happened in California. Take a look at this. It's out of the LA Times. Commentary, how Hollywood lost the culture war. At the end of the video, folks, I'm going to show you what the cost was. The cost for this loss is insane. You won't believe it. Hang tight. This is by Matt Brennan, and we need to pay attention to who Matt Brennan is for the LA Times, Los Angeles Times, folks. Matt Brennan is the deputy editor of Entertainment and Arts. So the newspaper of rapport over in Los Angeles, the throne of Hollywood, the throne of entertainment, the throne of movie making, the deputy editor has this to say. The most perceptive joke to air on American television in the last 10 years goes something like this. This will let you know the person's crazy, but then we'll get to the admittal. Attorney Diane Locke, liberal lioness of the good fight, awakes one morning to find that Hillary Clinton, not Donald Trump, has won the 2016 presidential election. Struggling to assimilate the joyous news, Diane describes the Trump years to colleagues at her black-owned Chicago law firm as one would a bad dream. He kept calling Yahtzee, and then it goes on to the hoax. I mean, that's just a hoax. He did not. And he did a Senate campaign for a child blank. And he put children in cages. And anti-Semitism and racism were on the rise. Folks, the American people are not buying this anymore. But this is the fever dream of this editor. I want you to understand where the editor's coming from. Wait, partner, Liz Reddick interrupts. Where were the Obamas during all this? Diane pauses, searching her memory for a moment, then matter-of-factly delivers an indictment for the ages. They had an overall deal at Netflix. So you can see, this is the setup for this article, right? This person is fully bought into hoaxes and craziness. So just so you understand who this is, and yet they're going to admit it. So let's scroll on down to where they just flat out say what's really going on. Here we go. It says, after an election in which countless celebrity endorsements, speeches, concerts, and fundraisers, coconut memes, camo hats, fan cams, late-night TV interviews, daytime talk show spots, and Saturday Night Live sketches left Vice President Kamala Harris and running mate Governor Tim Walz no closer to victory than their counterparts, Clinton and Senator Tim Kane, 8 years ago. The good fights, slings, and arrows seem right on target. Again, this is an indictment that Hollywood doesn't have the cachet that they wish it did. They wish that people worshipped the stars. And they wished then that the stars' proclamation of who you should vote for was absolutely, totally, had the efficacy of 100%. But here's where we get to it. Hollywood, the de facto public relations arm of the Democratic Party. Let me say it again. This is in the LA Times. And it's coming from somebody who's a nut job. I mean, this person makes planters envious of the nuttery that they're capable of. Hollywood, the de facto public relations arm of the Democratic Party, has come to reflect and reinforce its political partners' worst instincts. From the deputy editor at the LA Times, they say that Hollywood is the public relations arm of the Democratic Party. Now, of course, Hollywood has not always been like that. And, we can go back decades and decades and find where these things happen. But Hollywood doesn't have to be part of the political sphere. That's a decision that has been made. That's a decision that was made and is unraveling rather quickly. But it is amazing to see this put out there in stark black and white for everybody now to see. They're not hiding it anymore. Hollywood, the de facto public relations arm of the Democratic Party, has come to reflect and reinforce its political partners' worst instincts, ceding the initiative for understanding and delivering what Americans want in order to chase the chimera of a stable, focus group-approved midpoint in the culture. Now, the author is arguing that Hollywood should not back off being severely partisan and going as far to the left as they can. That's the point of this article, is to say, yeah, you lost, but you lost because you took your foot off the accelerator. Now, you and I can laugh about just how laughable that is, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that they're just out loud saying it now. The people in the places of power with the megaphones and the legacy dinosaur going extinct media, they're declaring, well, yeah, of course Hollywood was always just the Democratic Party. And it's like, well, that's how you killed it. And remember, folks, on this channel, I don't advocate for Hollywood somehow becoming conservative. One, I think it's impossible. And two, I don't want that to happen. We don't advocate on this channel for Disney to become a conservative company. We advocate here for these companies, for these studios, to go to the mainstream middle, the sensible center where money is made. We say it over and over and over. But these nut jobs out there, they've wanted it to be part of the far left. And the problem is the audiences have left. And now they're saying, well, if you had just gone even further, if you just done even more, if you'd been more wackadoodle, don't let up now. Of course, Hollywood is going to have to cave because they've wiped out their audience. They're gone. This author says, what's left presents an impoverished picture, not only of the progressive future, but of Hollywood's own, which the author believes is the same. The entertainment industry equivalent of America is already great. Essentially, they now, they're no longer hiding whatsoever that this was arm in arm, hand in hand, politics and entertainment intertwined. It is as you thought it was, but you were called a conspiracy theorist. It was always as you thought it appeared. And that's why now they're furious. But here's why they're furious. Let me show you this to you. This is from Deadline. It's by Nancy Tartaglione. It was from about 6 days ago. Global box office hits $30 billion in 2024 as year ended on an upbeat note. But it's no longer good enough to have a good movie. Studio report cards. And we're not going to read this article because what we need is in the headline. $30 billion in 2024. Ends on an upbeat note. Title gets a little sour, but overall, I guess you could say it's positive. Let me show you why it shouldn't be. From Variety, no longer from a few days ago, but from a few years ago. January 10th, 2020, written by Rebecca Rubin. Global box office hits new record in 2019 with $42.5 billion. 5 years ago, the global box office was more than 25% bigger than it is today. And that is in spite of the fact that today, movie ticket prices are something like 40% higher. They've done everything they can to make it so that you go into the movies generates a lot more money for them. And yet, they're still down 25%. Considering the cost of a movie ticket price increase that we've seen, that would mean that audiences have dropped somewhere around 50%. You could run the math on your own if you'd like. Go look up the price of tickets in 2019 versus 2024. Run these totals for global box office, and you'll come to the same conclusion. About half the audience has left going to the movies. This is an industry in collapse. And you've seen the cultural collapse. They have no more cultural sway. That is what is underway. They sacrificed an entire industry on the altar of politics. And now they're flat out admitting it. The LA Times, how Hollywood lost the culture war. It's not how Hollywood is losing the culture war. It's over. They're declaring it. They lost. They decided to tether their industry to a political partisan effort. And they lost. And the result of that loss is a magnificent, but not in a good way, a magnificent reduction in revenue, in cultural cachet, in sway, in interest from the audience, and they may never get it back because it's gone to the new media. They're declaring it now, folks. They were what you thought they were, and they lost. And you won because you just wanted movies to be fun and enjoyable and meaningful, but not partisan and mean to half the country. And now you mean to force them to do what's right going forward. I don't know if it's too late for them, but we shall see. Folks, like this video if you would not mind. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, we've got the Pro Show coming up today. If you're watching this video at the time of its release, Pro Shows are every Tuesday and Thursday at noon Eastern. And we love having you there with us. It means a lot. We always appreciate when you spend your time with us. Folks, we hope you had a good time. Until the next time, we have the honor of spending time with you. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, hear whispers. I'd heard things like, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little, sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard. On my little pocket of, Proud Family Disney TVA, the showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel I felt it was, maybe it was that way in the past. I guess something must have happened in the last year. They were turning it around. They're going hard. And then all that momentum that I felt, that sense of I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss. Let's in the background. I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of it. But I just was no one would stop me, and no one was trying. Just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of it. But I just was no one would stop me, and no one was trying. Just
Wilton, what are you doing?
Well, word on the street is the culture war has officially made it to the doorstep of that park place. And I realized Jonas has no one there who loves him. So I thought I should go and protect them.
Yeah, okay. That's not, how you do this, right?
Do what? Fight? Don't worry, Floral. I will not be intimidated by a criminal threat.
Threat? Wilton, don't be ridiculous.
What does it matter to me? I have only one life to lose.
I totally expected you to die walking into traffic, but,
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Okay, just stop. This is just nonsense. You already have one of the easiest and most effective tools and weapons at your fingertips.
My axe?
No. The truth. Stay smart and ready to tell and share the truth by keeping up to date with WDW Pro, that park place, as well as Valiant Renegade.
And Jonas? He does things with Vash, and that's not very reassuring. That's like putting two helpless chipmunks into a piranha pond.
That's neither true nor accurate. Unlike the team from that park place.
Sue me.
Ugh.